Okay, it's gonna happen this time. I'm telling myself that, and I'm sticking to it this time. I have recorded 4 efforts at talking to you. You, the listener, whoever you are, you who is me editing the video, and you who is anyone who stumbles upon it on the internet. But I have failed every time miserably because I don't know if it's because I overthink it. That's what I said the last time that I was describing why I failed the first several recordings in the last recording that I didn't use. So I've tried it in the park and in the car and at the computer, and each time I just can't bear to listen to it after the fact. And I realize things I've forgotten, not just things I've forgotten to tell you, but the fact that I'm talking really fast and stumbling over my words and saying a lot, which I don't even do, and yeah, it's not overthinking. It's something else. It's self-consciousness. And if I'm going to be self-conscious, I think I should just tell you about it. But it's like I can tell you about some self-consciousnesses, like I want to sound important, or like I'm worth listening to. And then the self-consciousnesses that are in effect are different ones. They're like, I don't know. So I'm back outside. I'm in the same place I was yesterday when I did this, but it's a different time of day. It's sort of, oh wow, it's 1 p.m. It was 11 a.m., what feels like just a minute ago, and I have a cup of coffee that in the last recording I described as the word tepid, and I don't mean I used the word tepid to describe it. I mean I described it as the word tepid, and I guess I'm doing it again, but I'm 1 layer removed now, so it doesn't feel quite as dumb, hopefully. I talked in another attempt about how silly it seems to start with the desire to say something rather than starting with something to say. I don't think that made sense the way I said it. What I mean is, it seems strange to start with just the desire to be saying things to people rather than a specific thing that I want to say to other people. And I don't know how to fix that except to keep saying things, because it feels like I have something to say. It does. I just don't know how to get to it yet. I graduated from college May something, mid-May, May something, and I had to turn in my senior project a few weeks before that, and it was terrible to turn it in because it was so unfinished. It's like I never quite got around to the important stuff that I felt like I had to say. It felt like I had to analyze and keep analyzing, and I guess the hope was that after analyzing it enough, I would know where my conclusion was. I was a literature major, so I was analyzing some plays. But I never got there. Like I never said what I wanted to say because I couldn't figure out what it was. It's still there. And it's here too. I wonder, I've been reading David Foster Wallace, and I read an article about him that said that he was sort of like moving beyond the postmodern, and I know it sounds pretentious, I'm really sorry, but the postmodern, like, taking everything apart and dissecting meaning and saying that nothing means anything, and into something else that's, like, more joyful. And in his writing, I get the sense that, like, he's still looking for it, too. And it worries me that, you know, he died so early because he didn't get to it, and who am I to think that I might get to it? His writing, I'm reading The Pale King now. I'm more than halfway done. I can't quite say yet that I'm almost done. I'm a good portion of the way through it. I like to say a good portion, or a good amount, or a substantial amount. I like to say indefinite amounts so I don't have to commit to a real quantity. It's just like this abstract idea of a quantity. But I've gotten a large amount of the book read. I've read a lot of it, and it's really good. Of course, his writing is brilliant, and I should read The Infinite Jest, or Infinite Jest. I don't know if there's a "the" before it, but yeah, I don't know. I want to read everything there is about him, and I want. It's not that I want to pick up where he left off, but I want to do what he's doing, and I want to get it. I want to take the next. I want to get there, you know? How could you possibly? I haven't explained it at all. I want to write the conclusion for my senior paper where I tell you what it is that's so important about what I'm analyzing, because it is there, it is important. It's more than just picking it apart and saying that it doesn't mean anything. Anyone can show that something isn't meaningful, and you just have to get linguistic and pull it into its component parts and show that we made everything up, and that from inside our heads we can't even observe anything real or know that anything we observe is real, and that reality is subjective, etc., etc. All of that stuff that makes school, like graduate level school, so pretentious and obnoxious to everyone, because it's not useful. It's not useful to say that reality is made up, because where do you go from there? You're still living in a very real reality, and things still feel very real. This coffee is not the word tepid. It's not. I actually kind of like it, this temperature. I'll get there. I've gotten really interested in spider webs just today. I think I've mentioned them in each of my recording attempts. Maybe I shouldn't postulate about my next videos while I'm trying to make a video, but I don't know. I like spider webs. I also like plants, but I've thoroughly... No, I haven't. Not thoroughly. I've covered the topic several times, and I think maybe I should do other things before going back to plants. Plants are so nice, and they're everywhere. I think this is my way of lightening the mood. Maybe this is the seat that I sit in every time I'm talking. Maybe I have to sit just like this, with my legs up, forming a triangle. And maybe I have to stare at the corner of the house next door where the finch sits sometimes. Oh my god, he flew up just now to sit on the corner of the house, and that's probably not that interesting to you, but it felt like I was I don't know. Maybe you can hear him. He's the loud one. Oh, he's gone again. What perfect timing. The word tepid.